Welcome to the studio. I'm going to share something very exciting with you, the new Winsor Newton large watercolor pans. William Winsor discovered the moisture retention qualities of glycerin, and it allowed him to make moist pan watercolor that allow for instant applications of color for the painter. Winsor Newton now puts out colors in tubes and in pans. Tubes are used for large applications of washes where you have to put out large quantities of color. Pans allow you to instantly pick up color and start to work without having the fuss or the bother to have to try and open up tubes. Winsor Newton large watercolor pans are 13 times the size of a half pan watercolor. They allowed a large area for mixing and picking up color. The dishes are porcelain. They hold large quantities of the wash, so you can build up large wash quantities in the inside, and the sloped side of the container allows you to take surplus color off your brush and to point your brush before you start to paint. The porcelain dishes are stackable. You can stack them up, keep them on the corner of your drawing board or in your studio for whenever you need instant color for large applications of washes. The watercolor pans allow color to be released the minute water is on the pan. By adding more water to the pan, you can mix up very strong, juicy, heavy washes and very high intensity. This is cadmium yellow I'm using here, which is an opaque pigment, and it's coloring over the existing watercolor. And just look at that color. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, this was from a dry pan, and just immediately the color starts to wet up. I can switch to another color here. I'm taking a bit of Opera Rose, and if I take that, just add the water, and it's wetting up, and look, I'm getting absolutely beautiful instant color happening here. And that's the advantage of the pans. For the first time, watercolor painters have got the same thing going for them as oil painters and acrylic painters. I've got my colors here. I can go ahead and I can just reach out and get each color, and if I want a bit of green, I can put it in. If I want to put some violet in, it's at the other end of the palette here. Instantly I pick it up, and I can pick up a really good violet here and just start to put that right in onto my painting. This is something that watercolor painters never ever had before. These things are absolutely amazing. They change the whole way that watercolorists are going to paint. The minute I started working with these things, I just couldn't believe how good they were. Winsor Newton pan and tube watercolors are formulated differently. Many artists take the tube color and squeeze it out onto a palette, and they allow the color to dry. This color is not formulated for this, and what will happen is the color becomes very dry and in some cases gray, and it will not re-wet properly when you're working with it. Tube colors have agents in them that help with the blending and the dispersion of color, and these disappear when the paint dries. What you're left with here is basically the pigment without all the things that Winsor Newton has put in the color to make it a true artist's watercolor. The idea of dispensing tube colors out and letting them dry is not recommended. You are far better, if you want instant color, to use pans. Up until now, that was a little trickier because there were the small pans. But now that we have these large pans, artists have instant color that they can use anytime and don't have to put out tube color and let it dry overnight and try and re-wet it in the morning. The choice is yours. Whether you want to work in Winsor Newton Artist Watercolor in tubes or in the super new Artist Watercolor pans. Both offer the best artist watercolor and working properties that as a watercolorist you can expect. For more information, visit Winsor Newton on the web at www.windsornewton.com or our product literature. Thank you very much.